Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something I think we all want to kind of master: invitations.
Yeah.
Sending them, receiving them. How to navigate this whole social dance, gracefully and with, a bit of finesse.
Yeah, finesse is a good word for it.
Yeah, and we've got some pretty insightful material to help us out.
Yeah.
An English learning session with the fantastic Sharo and Mona.
Oh, they're great. They give some really good practical advice. I love that they focus on those subtle little phrases
Yes.
that can make a big impact,
Probably.
Like instead of just saying, come to,
Come to.
who you like to.
Yes. Would you like to join us?
It just sounds more inviting.
It does, doesn't it? There's actually a whole psychology behind invitations that we can unpack a little.
Oh, I'm sure.
But first, you know me, I love a good origin story.
Oh, yes.
So get ready to impress your friends with this one. RSVP. Those three little letters we see all the time on invitations.
All the time.
They're not just about etiquette.
Oh, they're steeped in French history.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
Okay, so RSVP comes from the French phrase, répondez s'il vous plaît, which means please respond.
Ah.
So knowing that little tidbit not only makes you sound super sophisticated,
Ooh la la.
but it also kind of highlights just how important it is to actually respond.
Right.
It's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging that the host put an effort to invite you.
Wow. I never thought about RSVP like that. It's less of a chore now and more like a thoughtful gesture.
Exactly. And that's what I think makes this deep dive so interesting.
Uh-huh.
We're going beyond just the surface.
Yeah.
To see like the nuances,
Yes.
the why behind these little social interactions.
It's not just about, knowing the right words. It's understanding their impact.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And speaking of the right words, Shiro and Mona give us some essential vocabulary for all things invitations.
Okay.
Words like invite, invitation, RSVP,
Of course.
which we've already talked about, host, guest, accept, and decline.
Like building blocks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
You need that good foundation.
You need a strong foundation.
Yeah, before you can build,
Before you can build those beautiful invitations and responses.
Exactly.
And once we've got those, we can add a little grammar,
Oh, grammar.
a little finesse.
I love a good grammar
A
lesson.
little extra politeness. And they talk about these magical little words
Okay.
called modal verbs,
Uh-huh.
words like would, could, might,
Right.
and how they can take a direct command and turn it into a polite request.
I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Okay, so think about the difference between saying, come to my party, and would you like to come to my party?
Oh, yeah.
The first one, it's a little bit demanding.
It feels a little bit like an order.
Like an order, right.
Yeah.
The second one,
Yeah.
with the would you like, it softens it.
Yeah.
It gives the other person a choice.
It acknowledges, their agency.
Yes.
Like they can decide.
Exactly. And that's why they're so powerful.
Yeah.
Because they make people feel respected. Right.
Or likely to say yes.
So much psychology in these little words.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
It's like a secret code
Uh-huh.
embedded in our language.
Wow.
It influences how we see each other.
It's not just about being grammatically correct. It's about understanding the
nuances.
the way language shapes how we interact.
Exactly. And that's where Shiro and Mona's dialogue examples come in.
Okay.
They walk us through these simple conversations.
Yeah.
But when you look closely,
Yeah.
you see how those little choices,
Uh-huh.
the modal verbs, the phrasing,
Right.
they change the whole dynamic.
So we're going to break down those dialogues?
We are. We'll see how they work their magic.
I love it.
And we'll also explore how they reflect deeper cultural norms as well.
Okay.
It's like language is a mirror
Yeah.
to our values and social expectations.
I like that. A mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's dive into one of those examples.
Okay.
Shiro and Mona start with a simple invitation to a birthday party.
The speaker says, hey, I'm having a birthday party next Saturday. Would you like to come?
Ah, see, even in that casual setting,
Right.
using that would you like,
It's friendly.
yeah, sets a nice tone.
Yeah. And notice they give the key info,
Yeah.
the occasion, the date,
Important,
clear and concise, always appreciated in an invitation.
for sure. So what's the response? How does the other person respond?
They say, that sounds fun. I'd love to. What time?
Okay.
So we have enthusiasm,
Yeah.
a positive response,
Uh-huh.
and a crucial follow-up question.
Yes, the logistics.
Yes. You can't forget those.
Nope.
Now let's look at a slightly more formal scenario.
Okay.
Shiro and Mona present a situation where someone is inviting a colleague to a business meeting.
Okay, a little different.
Yeah, how does that one go?
Yeah, how do they phrase that?
Okay, so the person initiating the meeting says, I'd like to invite you to a meeting to discuss the upcoming project. Would Tuesday at 10 a.m. work for you?
Okay, so more structure here.
Yeah.
I see they're stating the purpose up front,
Yeah.
the specific time.
Exactly. They're being very clear and direct,
Right, makes sense.
which is key in a professional setting.
Uh-huh.
But they've still used that would.
To soften it a little.
Exactly.
Even though the overall message is more, formal.
Right. It's finding that balance
Yeah.
between professional and polite.
I like it. So what does the colleague say?
They say, yes, Tuesday at 10 a.m. works for me. Please send me an agenda beforehand.
Okay, so a clear confirmation.
Yeah.
Acknowledging the time and a request for more info.
Yes, which is totally appropriate.
Yes. Even in a professional setting,
Of course.
it's okay to ask for what you need to be prepared.
Absolutely. Like, clear communication is key
Yes.
in any situation, really.
Right. Doesn't matter if it's casual or, super formal.
Exactly.
It's all about being clear.
So we've seen how those dialogues show these subtle nuances.
Yeah, they're not as simple as they seem at first glance.
No, they're not. It's the word choices. The phrasing, those follow-up questions. Yeah.
All important
All of it comes together.
to make those effective invitations and responses.
And as we said, they reflect those deeper cultural values, too.
It's true. Like that emphasis on politeness, being clear,
Uh-huh.
respecting each other's time.
Exactly.
It all reflects how we interact as a society.
So speaking of active learning,
Oh, yes.
remember those practice exercises?
Yes. From Shero and Mona. Those were fun.
They're a great way to really solidify these concepts.
Now, let's put this knowledge into practice.
Exactly.
Remind me, what were those exercises again?
Well, the first one was a fill-in-the-blanks exercise.
Okay.
They gave sentences like, I'd love to invite you to my blank.
Uh-huh.
Could you blank us for dinner tomorrow?
Okay, so it's about testing our grasp of those key words.
Yes.
How they fit into those different situations.
Yeah.
I like it. What was the second one?
The second one was a matching game
Okay.
where you had to match invitations with appropriate responses.
Oh, fun.
So like, would you like to come to my birthday party?
Yeah.
Matches with, that sounds great. What time?
Okay, so practicing those response skills.
Exactly.
Taking sure you're using the right tone.
Yeah.
The right level of formality, depending on who you're talking to.
Exactly. And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Based on these exercises, I have some bonus tips
Ooh, bonus tips. I love it.
on how to tailor invitations to specific situations.
Okay.
Because think about it. Inviting a close friend to hang out
Right.
sounds different from inviting a potential business partner to a formal dinner.
Totally different vibe.
Totally different vibe.
Okay. I'm ready for those pro tips. Lay them on me.
All right, so let's say you're inviting a friend to get coffee. You could say, hey, want to grab coffee tomorrow?
Yeah?
Short, sweet gets the point across.
Exactly.
But if you're inviting your boss to a company event,
Yeah.
you might want to say something like, I'd like to invite you to our annual company gala. It would be an honor to have you attend.
Okay, yeah. See the difference. Adjusting the language to the formality of the situation.
Precisely. You don't want to be too casual with your boss.
No.
Or too formal with your friends.
That would be awkward.
It would be very awkward.
So it's about reading the room,
yes,
understanding the relationship,
exactly.
and choosing your words carefully.
Exactly. Now, sending invitations is important.
Uh-huh.
But let's not forget the other side of the coin,
Okay.
receiving invitations,
Yeah.
and sometimes
Uh-huh.
having to decline them.
Right, yes. The art of the graceful no.
It can be tricky.
It can be.
And this is where Shero and Mona leave us with a thought-provoking question.
Okay.
What's a polite way to decline an invitation?
Because sometimes you can't make it work.
Sometimes you just can't.
Yeah, life happens.
Life happens.
But you don't want to offend anyone
No,
or damage the relationship.
exactly. So how do we navigate this?
Yeah. How do we say no nicely?
That's what we'll be exploring as we go into the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've learned how to craft that perfect invitation. We talked about the vocabulary, the grammar,
Right, all those subtle little details.
those nuances, the psychology of it all.
Exactly. We saw how to use those modal verbs.
Like would and could.
To give people a choice. You know, make them feel respected.
Yeah, make them feel good
And we looked at some real examples.
from those dialogues.
Yeah, from Shero and Mona.
Yeah, they were great examples.
We even got to practice.
With those exercises.
And you gave us those awesome bonus tips.
Yeah, hope those were helpful.
They were really helpful
Good.
about tailoring our language, you know, to fit the situation.
Right, because it's not one size fits all.
Exactly. But now, the big question.
Ah, yes. The question that Shero and Mona left us with.
How do we say no politely?
That's a good question.
Because as much as we'd like to say yes,
To every invitation,
sometimes it just doesn't work out.
sometimes you just can't.
Life gets in the way,
It does.
but you still want to be nice about it. You don't want to burn bridges.
No, you don't want to damage those relationships.
Exactly. So how do we do it? How do we decline gracefully?
Okay, what are the secrets?
Well, first things first, acknowledge the invitation.
Okay.
Show your appreciation. You can say something like, "Thank you so much for inviting me to your dinner party. It sounds lovely."
Right, you're not just ignoring them.
Exactly. You're showing that you value the gesture,
Yeah.
even if you can't make it. Then state your reason for declining,
Okay.
briefly and clearly. Could be anything, a scheduling conflict, a prior commitment,
Just can't make it.
just feeling overwhelmed,
Need a break.
need some downtime, whatever it is.
Yeah, be honest.
Be honest, but don't overshare.
Yeah, no need to give your whole life story.
Keep it simple. I already have plans, or I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's perfect. And if you really wanted to go, but something came up,
Uh-huh.
you could express regret, maybe even suggest another time.
Yeah, like, I'm so bummed I can't make it to your dinner, but let's celebrate another time. Maybe coffee next week.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
shows you're still interested.
You still want to connect.
Yeah, even if it's not at that particular event.
Exactly.
And lastly, and on a positive note,
Okay.
reiterate your thanks and offer your well wishes.
Yeah, like, thanks again for thinking of me. Hope it's a great time.
Perfect. Those little things make a difference.
They really do. So it doesn't have to be awkward.
No, not at all.
Saying no with a little thought, with a little strategy,
That can be done.
you can navigate these situations gracefully.
And maintain those relationships.
And, sometimes a well-phrased no,
Yeah,
it can actually strengthen a relationship.
I think so.
Shows honesty, you're respecting yourself
Yeah.
and the other person.
It's about boundaries.
It is. Well, we've covered a lot today, haven't we?
We have gone deep
We really went deep,
into the world of invitations.
sending them, receiving them.
Saying yes, saying no.
The power of language,
It is powerful.
Those subtle ways we communicate.
More than just words.
It is. Hopefully you've gained some practical skills today.
That's the goal.
And a new appreciation, I think,
I hope so.
for this whole dance of human interaction.
It's a fascinating dance.
It really is. So go forth and invite.
Yes.
Be mindful. Be respectful.
And be yourself.
Yes, most importantly, be yourself. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Happy communicating, everyone.
Bye.